about this for a perfect plan to start your weekend? Play a little golf, a little hooky in the late afternoon, and make your way inside the ballpark at 20th and Blake. Weekend set between the Rockies and the San Diego Padres. And good evening, everybody. I'm Drew Goodman along with George Frazier, back in town from a little time in Tulsa, Oklahoma. How about this, folks? Over the last 3 weeks, the two hottest teams in the National League, they're playing right here tonight.
And that's surprising because they're pitching better, they're getting timely hits, and they're playing good defense. And, oh, by the way, their bullpens are pretty good. And I think that's been the biggest difference. You look at all the numbers, they match up fairly well through this whole thing, although Colorado and Betancourt with 11 saves. Belial's gotten a couple of those, Rex Brothers. The ERAs are good, the average is very good, and the runs per game. You know, you look at this and you say the Rockies have been playing great baseball. It's all centered around pitching, and it's centered around a lot of young kids on this club that have swung the bat extremely well.
Absolutely, and in the center of that, you have to mention Josh Rutledge. He's back in there again tonight at shortstop. Every night he's hitting a bullet somewhere, usually several.
Well, I was fortunate. I got to watch a lot of that in Tulsa, all in April, May, and June. Now you're getting to watch it in July and August, and it's exactly what you saw there. You're seeing here, not intimidated by the league whatsoever. There's guys that come up and you think they get a little intimidated by this league, by the pitching, by the umpiring, by the competition. He's fit in like he's been here 30 years.
Well, you know you've made an impression when the guys on the other team are starting to talk about you, and that's been the case with Josh Rutledge. When we come back, we'll talk about Alex White. He's looking to make another impression on the Padres. In from the bullpen, the Rockies and Padres beginning a three-game set tonight at Coors Field. Back upstairs with George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. Lately, things have gone pretty well for Alex White in that the club has won 5 of his last 6 starts. That obviously is the bottom line. the Rockies now would like to see him get a little bit further, a little bit deeper into ball games.
Well, I think they'd like to see what they saw when he first came back from AAA. That was 70 pitches. He's working into the 6th inning. Ball down, a lot of balls on the ground, not up in it. You see what Richards does. Richard had been really, really special of late. Throwing the ball, won 4 out of his last 5 decisions, 184 innings. Starting to near that mark a little bit, as Bud Black said, starting to get cautious with what's going on with him. But Alex White, if he will realize that his stuff at 86 is as good at 96, when the ball's on the ground and he's getting quick outs, he'll have a good slider to go along with it. The changeup, you see it there. Hard split down and away to the left-handed hitters. They'll chase it out of the zone. But again, you look at what happened to Alex White. This team has won when he's been on the mound. He's been a part of it, but not the part they're looking for. They're looking for that 5th and 6th inning out of him.
And hopefully he'll be able to respond with that this evening. We are set to go. Hopefully you are as well. It's the Rockies and the Padres. Come on back to Coors Field with us. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, moving forward. By CenturyLink, fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at Southwest.com. So the Rockies, like the Padres, had yesterday off. In fact, the Rockies had played 20 straight, and it was one of their better rounds of 20 in a row in franchise history. They went 13-7, bettered only by a run a couple years ago when they went 14-6 and playing 20 consecutive ball games. The former Rocky farmhand shortstop Everett Cabrera will lead things off for the Padres. And for Bud Black, the rest of the lineup will have Will Venable in the 2-hole. He has very good numbers against Alex White. Chase Headley, what a great story he's been in the second half. Carlos Quentin, big-time power. Yasmani Grandal's behind the plate, hitting .283. Yonder Alonso, a rookie, having a very solid year. Logan Forsythe, Cameron Maben, and the left-hander Clayton Richard, the former Michigan quarterback.
Well, overall numbers for Alex White going against the Padres tonight. 17th start of the season for him. There's obviously one loss. Would like to be better than that. The earned run average at 5.49. 4 innings in each of his last 5 starts. Would like to see that get extended. And if you look at Alex White's and what he offers to you, it's going to be a majority of fastballs. But when he does get ahead, he'll chase the slider, change up in at you. He'll try to throw that change, which is a split-fingered fastball. Resembles an awful lot of that sinker that he throws. Get the ball on the ground and get quick, easy innings.
So Everett Cabrera, who's hitting .500 against the Rockies this year, will step in. He's 7 for 14. Alex White had a scoreless first inning in his last outing, but it took him 28 pitches, and that, unfortunately, George, has been more of the norm than the exception.
Doomsday for him. And if one hole's one that has really given him a lot of trouble. They've hit .351 against him. So trying to start a ball game off, shut down innings is what you're hunting for. You will get a strike call there on the second pitch at 89.
Ball and a strike on Cabrera, adjusting to hitting leadoff. But he's done a pretty good job. The other day in 3 at-bats in a ball game, he saw 26 pitches. He had a 14-pitch at-bat, in fact. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Cabrera. It was real toasty earlier today. Game time temperature 84 degrees. Rockies took 2 of 3 against the Dodgers. Lost Wednesday afternoon 10-8. In a game they were down 10-1, scored 7 late, almost pulled off the miracle comeback. Rockies in a very good place, playing good baseball the last 3+ weeks, as are the Padres.
Well, a lot of confidence when you start to win. It happens throughout the lineup. It happens on the mound and in the bullpen.
Let's check the umpiring rotation tonight. Paul Nauert's behind the dish. Dana DeMuth at first. He's the crew chief. Doug Eddings at second. Kerwin Danley at third. This is a group with a number of years between them. See a touch of gray in the beard. That's how you know, George.
Been around. Dana was around when I was around. He was a young guy, though. He stuck around longer than me.
You can do that.
I think Dana came up. I want to think Dana came up in '83, maybe '84. You look at your book and see, but it was somewhere in that range.
And another foul ball. This is why he's had 12 and 14 pitch at bats lately, huh?
Yeah, well, he's doing a really good job just throwing the hands at a ball that's a nasty pitch by White.
Dana DeMuth is in his 28th year. How about that? 1985, his first year as a member of the full-time staff, which means you're right, George. He was working in the early 80s.
Yeah, he was. Very good umpire. Good guy, easy guy to talk to on the field if you had a problem.
And that's just foul.
It's about time you start screaming out of the dugout. Hit it between the white lines. You've given away enough souvenirs.
We've seen this before. Stop it.
So you want to see where he's throwing him? Everything's away, everything's sinking, and that was pitch number 9.
Renicke's going to have to get loose in a second. Rosario behind the plate, sets up on the outside corner.
Stop it, come on. You know, all the pitches. Can we see that zone again, Mike? See, that's how I talk to the producer now. So let's take one and go over there one time, see what happens.
He got him on a split in the dirt. Now you got to get him at first, and Rosario fires to Pacheco. But you know what? This is one of the rare times a guy who punches out is going to go back to that dugout, and he's going to get some pats on the back.
Oh, absolutely.
Watch Cabrera when he gets to the dugout.
Well, he should get some, I'll tell you that, or at least a couple of high fives walking down the side of it. And there's Bud Black with a big pat on the back, another one from Carlos Quentin. Maybe they weren't as excited as you and I were.
Well, you know, I mean, listen, Bud Black's pat on the back, it was a demonstrative one.
Means everything.
Yeah, and it wasn't just, hey, nice job and a little slap. I mean, he wound up. 1-0 on Will Venable. There's Bud. One of the finest gentlemen in the game. 1-0 on Will Venable, 4 for 6 lifetime against Alex White. 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. So it's not just a couple of bleeders through the right side.
Looked at those numbers early today, and I thought, well, where's he going to hit? Is he going to hit in the 2-hole? Is he going to hit in the 5-hole? But he's going to be in the lineup.
And that's a long foul ball. There's just some guys that, you know, hitters will say, I just see him really, really well. I remember, George, when Mike Hampton was pitching, and you know, I know Mike, he didn't end up great here, but you know, Mike had a heck of a career. Sean Green, who also had a heck of a career, for whatever reason, left on left, just owned him. And it wasn't like, okay, he's 7 for 15. He was like 12 for 15 with 8 bombs.
It was a stupid amount of numbers he had on.
And sometimes the converse is true. Pitcher just has a hitter's number, a good hitter. Well, look at the numbers for Will Venable. Much better August. He struggled in July. And a bouncing ball to second. Easy play. DJ LeMahieu, 2 outs. Defensively, the Rockies made a change after batting practice. Dexter Fowler was originally in the starting lineup. He's still battling that ankle injury. He was scratched. So Colvin's in the middle of Brown and Gonzalez. In the infield, it's Nelson, Rutledge, LeMahieu, Pacheco, with Willeen behind the plate. And Chase Headley rolls over. So a good start for Alex White after Everett Cabrera fouled off 38 pitches. No score will see the Rockies on 0. Game 4 of the 6-game homestand, and they'll begin tonight with Josh Rutledge. Originally, Dexter was at the top of the lineup, and Rutledge was hitting second. Let's take a look at a batting order that was completely changed around about an hour ago. Pacheco will hit second now. Originally, he was batting third. Cargo was batting cleanup. He moves up. Now Rosario, Nelson, and Brown. Tyler Colvin wasn't in the lineup. He is now. DJ LeMahieu will bat 8. He's the only guy who was in the original position other than, of course, the pitcher. First pitch of the ball game from Clayton Richard in there for a strike. One of the beautiful things about Richard, George, he's like Mark Burley, but he throws harder. He doesn't mess around.
He doesn't mess around. He's very quick on the mound. He's going to throw a lot of sinkers, put the ball in play. He's given up more hits than anybody else in the National League as starting pitchers with 179. 28 start, 11 to 12, those 184 innings, second most in the National League. 8 innings in his last 3 starts. August has been great. 4-1, 211 earned run average. He has really handled left-handers this year, and he utilizes the fastball. When ahead, he'll go to the slider more than he will the curveball.
There's Pacheco showing bunt. I haven't seen him try to bunt his way on yet this year. That would have been interesting. Put something in their heads, huh? 306 average in this his rookie year. 281 against the Padres. 1-0 in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike for Richard, making his 28th start of the year. He's tossed 184 innings. Pitched here in April and it did not go well for him. He gave up 8 runs, which matches the most runs he's given up in a game this year.
Well, it's not gone well at Coors Field in 5 starts. 0-3 with a 9 ERA.
2-1, sharply hit, but right at Cabrera. He's got the first 2 assists of the ball game. There's Dexter Fowler, and you would assume, and I guess you're wrong for ever assuming anything, we haven't heard anything from the Rockies clubhouse about his availability. Now, he was getting taped up, and heavily so, in the clubhouse earlier. That's before he went out for batting practice. So you hope that, you know, it's just a little bit sore and they don't want to play on it, but he could pinch hit later on. Cargo takes a strike, 2 for 5 on Wednesday with an RBI. So the Rockies now have Blackman on the left side, Ramon Hernandez on the right side, and Fowler and Herrera. This ball is a base hit to right. Cargo much quieter with that leg lift, something he's been working on, Frazier, the last few days with Carney Lansford.
Well, a lot of times when you get out of whack, you start to try to hunt for the things that have put you there. And one of those things, if you get a little jerky with the front of that front leg, and it comes up too quick and then it's down too fast, it disrupts your eye level of a swing with the bat. And that time, as Drew mentioned, very, very calm front side.
So Cargo aboard for Willeen Rosario. 22 home runs, leading the club, 56 driven in. Isn't that an interesting stat? I've said it many times. Nobody has missed the presence of Troy Tulowitzki more. This ball roped to left, a base hit. Just to continue that thought on the graphic you saw on Cargo, 18 straight singles. I mean, listen, he's a great player. He's a great offensive player as well. And he's going to hit his home runs. We haven't seen as many, but George, every club goes in, they say, okay, this guy's not beating us.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you're going to do. Now, all of a sudden, you're starting to see him take a little more notice to Willeen, some other guys in the lineup, but that's still not Troy Tulowitzki sitting behind you.
2 on with 2 outs. Chris Nelson takes a strike. Take a look at the Padres defensively. Carlos Quentin's in left field. Cameron Maben covers a lot of ground. He's in center. Will Venable's a good outfielder out in right field. Headley in third. Cabrera at short. Logan Forsythe yonder. Alonso on the right side. And a guy they really like, Yasmani Grandal's behind the plate. Ground ball, gloved by a good athlete, Clayton Richard. If he doesn't get a glove on that, that's probably headed up the middle for an RBI single. No score, we'll go to the second.
In the Rockies, it is yet another Fan Friday. It's when we answer social media questions. And guys, it is also a Blue Moon Friday. Two full moons in the month of August. It won't happen again till the year 2015. So I thought we would do once in a blue moon baseball questions from people that tweeted them in. And the first is from @MLBNut23. Has a pitcher ever hit for the cycle? The answer is no. And if you need to know, the pitcher that has hit the most home runs in the history of the game is Wes Ferrell. He hit 38 between 1929 and 1941, including 9 in 1931, the record for homers in a season by a pitcher. So, Drew and George, we have the once in a blue moon questions coming up all night long.
You know, Ferrell hit 9 in a season, Mark. Mike Hampton hit 7 one year for the Rockies.
9 was in 31, so you're talking a long time ago. Hampton will be part of one of our questions coming up.
All right, Mark, thanks very much. Carlos Quentin leading off here in the second inning. He takes ball 1 from Alex White. Padres beat Atlanta 8-2 on Wednesday. Took 2 of 3 from Atlanta. Padres had an 8-game winning streak. Atlanta won the middle game, and the Padres won on Wednesday, so they've won 9 of their last 10. This ball's well hit to center field. Colvin hoping for a play. Won't have one. Nobody will have one. So home run for Quentin. His 15th of the year. He wasn't even sure. That's been the thing, George, with Alex White. For a guy that's trying to throw primarily a sinker ball, it seems like once or twice a night he'll get one up and he gives up a long ball.
10 home runs for him given up in 77 innings pitched. This ball well out over the plate and allowed Carlos Quentin to extend his hands and get the sweet part of the bat on that baseball. Right-handers have now hit 7 home runs against White. Left-handers just 4.
And the 1-0 is off the plate. It's 2-0 on Yasmani Grandal. He will never forget this facility. Got his first 2 big league hits here at Coors Field. A home run from the left side, a home run from the right side. Never been done before. Now it's 3-0. He's hitting .353 away from Petco. Talking to some people within the organization of the Padres, they give him a lot of credit as to one of the reasons why the Padres have played such good baseball the last, well, it's really been more than a month. It's been about a month and a half.
Well, the splash he made here was a big splash, but he brought a lot of energy to the team. He's made 4 errors behind home plate as a catcher, but he's also taken hold of the pitching staff, which is unusual for a young pitcher. A lot of times we've seen the growth of Willeen Rosario and what he's been able to do behind the plate for the Rocky staff. You're starting to see him take a more positive role with pitchers and go to the mound and talk, not be intimidated.
Nobody out. 1 run in. Grandal at first, and his buddy from the University of Miami, Yonder Alonso, at the plate. Here's a strike. Consider this about the Padres. They went 20-41 in their first 61 ball games through June the 11th. Since then, they've gone 41-30, which is the 3rd best winning percentage in the National League. 20-41 at the time. That was the worst winning percentage in the game.
Well, everybody thought Bud Black was going to get fired, that his pitching coach Darren Balsley was in trouble because they weren't playing good baseball, and then all of a sudden that switch turned. And Bud Black and his ball club, one of the best teams in the National League, if not the best, since that date in June. What Drew's talking about, you look at games through June 29th, where San Diego was, and then look what has happened since then. It has turned into the best team in the National League West.
1-2 on Alonso, inside 2-2. And this goes all the way to the backstop, and there goes your opportunity to produce a double play.
Split finger that got so far out in front of Wallin made it difficult to block.
Join in on the conversation with Toyota Talk. Text Toyota to 720-720. Share your insights, perhaps a question or two. Text right now. You'll be entered to win a one-year family membership to the Denver Zoo. (3-2), and that's a foul ball. Alonso able to move Grandal to third with one out. And that'll bring up Logan Forsythe, a good bat handler. Infield comes in approximately halfway. And Forsythe takes a strike.
He swung the bat well this year. If you look at an average, sitting at 270, but with runners in scoring position, Logan Forsythe has struggled to a tune of 213.
Two-strike count on Forsythe. Carlos Quentin led the inning off with a home run to center field. Then a walk to Grandal, wild pitch, and a fielder's choice, and a ground ball to Rutledge. Oh, man. That took a really bad hop. That'll be a single and an RBI for Logan Forsythe. It's 2-0.
Now just watch when Rutledge makes a move on this ball. He's going to be able to get over to backhand it, and right at the last second.
Where'd that hit him?
It almost looked like he caught him right in the back of the head. The Mike Shaw Subaru Supermole. Let's look and see where this is, because I mean he's keeping his eye right on top of it. Must have caught him in the arm.
Cameron Maybin, nice stop. Chris Nelson, and he gets the force at second base on a bullet off the bat by Maybin. Good looking play by Nelson.
Well, it's all about reaction at third base, and that's exactly what Nelson did. Maybin has struggled this year, but that was a ball he hit extremely hard. Low feet, good speed at the plate, difficult to turn too.
2 outs. Clayton Richard, who's hitting .085, will come up. 24-year-old Alex White on the hill, and that's a pretty good swing by pitcher Clayton Richard. Fouls it straight back. There goes Cameron, and the throw to second.
Boy, I don't know why you would do that with a pitcher up. Not with the arm Moline has.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. It's not a place you normally see a guy try to swipe a bag. If he's thrown out, you lead off the next inning with your pitcher. You just want to clear him out of the way.
25th stolen base for him. Now, I do understand Richard has 6 RBIs, but that's not the case here. Left-handed batter, you're going to be able to clear and get the throw. Just got under it a little bit. Ball sailed, and for Cameron Maven, 25 stolen bases. He's been caught 5 times now. Better make sure you make it, huh? Don't want to go back to the dugout looking at that.
2-2 on Richard. The only pitchers who have more ribbies in the National League, Giovanni Gallardo and a fellow by the name of Steven Strasburg. They both have 7. Cargo not going to have a play, but he gets to visit with the fans for a moment.
Who caught the ball anyway?
Yeah, a lot of foul balls against Alex White.
Well, get ready for the food truck roundup at Coors Field, featuring trucks from the Justice League of street food before the Rockies game on Saturday. The game ticket is required, though, so discounts and info available online.
Line drive, left field. Cargo lays out, makes the catch. A run-saving catch by Carlos Gonzalez. Richard would have had his 7th RBI. 2 runs in the inning for San Diego. They have a 2-0 lead. Bottom of the second inning, Andrew Brown, Tyler Colvin, DJ LeMahieu. Well, it's here, college football, and it kicks off tomorrow on Root Sports. Start your morning off with a battle between Appalachian State, East Carolina at 10 in the morning, followed by Tulsa in Ames, Iowa to take on the Cyclones. Then stick around after the Rockies game as Oklahoma and UTEP will square off. The best in college football on Root Sports. Your Sooners, George.
Yeah, how about that? And Tulsa going to Iowa State. They're favorites going to Iowa State. Surprising. Bill Blankenship has taken over there, doing a nice job with his ball club.
He used to be the coach at Union High School, didn't he?
For years. And then late out of here, came to Tulsa as a tight ends coach.
Andrew Brown rolls it to Chase Headley. His son Josh, though, was a very good quarterback.
Yeah, he's the head coach at Muskogee High School, another 5A power, and in the southern part of the state.
One guy, Tyler Colvin, will come up. Coors Field to place tonight with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman, Mark Stout along. Again, Colvin was not in the original starting lineup. Dexter Fowler was. Dexter's on the bench. We assume the ankle was a little too sore to play defense. We have not heard official word yet. Deep in the hole, Cabrera had it come up on him. That ball hit the lip, and it'll be a hit for Tyler Colvin. Now 7 for his last 17 at the plate.
Well, left on left, too. That was the nice part about it. Tyler just stayed with the pitch. A lot of times against left-handers, you have a tendency to bail off your front side, so you would pull that baseball. Purposely went to the opposite field. You'll see as the ball came out on that second hop, right there, it came right up under the heel of the glove of Cabrera and crawled up the hand. Clayton Richard, one of the best moves in baseball to first base. Be very, very careful getting your lead at first. It's a quick, sneaky move to first base. A lot of it has to do with the way he lifts that front leg, and he'll pick up home plate. When a lot of left-handers pick up home, they go home. With him, you don't know what's going to happen.
1-1 on LeMahieu. 2-1. DJ's got a 4-game hitting streak, 7 for his last 16 at the plate. He's got at least 2 hits in a game, 10 of his last 19 ball games. And this one is going to turn into a double play. Logan Forsythe took it himself, and that's all for the Rockies in inning number 2. Padres leading 2-zip. powered by your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Step up to the plate, get more miles per gallon. The hottest car line in America, Hyundai. Tomorrow we're on the air at 5:30 with the pregame show. Ball game at 6 right here on Root Sports. And then the Padres again on Sunday. Then it's off to ATL, Atlanta. Rockies will play 4 in Georgia. It's Veterans Day, so no start time back home, 10:30 on Root Sports. This season, did I say, what did I say? Did I say Veterans Day?
But I knew what you meant.
Labor Day.
It's Labor Day, yes.
This season, save responsibly when you shop at your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Check it out at coloradohyundai.com. Top of the order for the Padres in the 3rd inning, Everett Cabrera, who struck out his first time up, but it took him 10 minutes. An 11 pitch at bat for Cabrera. And now he'll have a 1 pitch at bat. You know what? DJ LeMahieu, he's starting to line up those assists again. A few days ago, he tied the major league record for assists in a game with a dozen. And he's got 4 already in this game. Will Venable hit a ground ball to guess who's first time, George?
Let me guess, DJ LeMahieu.
You got it. And this ball is pretty well hit center field. Colvin going back, still going back, won't have a play. Short hops the wall. Venable with those long strides, hunting a triple, and he's going to have one. So Will Venable now 5 for 8 against Alex White. 2 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run. Remember what we said in his first at bat. Some guys just see the ball really well against a particular pitcher.
And when you make the mistake against them, then you have to pay for it. I mean, that's not a bad pitch. He's out on his front foot. I mean, Venable is a very strong guy. I get that. But he's not this strong. I mean, way out on the front foot, 1 hops a wall out in center, and then it's just off to the races. This guy really started to lengthen those strides out so much there wasn't even a throw into third base.
Here's Chase Headley. And Headley fouls it off. Chase hit a ground ball to second his first time up. So if I told you that Albert Pujols has led the big leagues in home runs in the second half, you'd say, well, that's a likely guy. If I told you Chase Headley's second in home runs in the second half of the season
and the park he plays in,
you'd say, what?
Yeah,
come again.
And the park he plays in.
And Chase has never been known for home runs, but he's got 22 this year.
Nice block by Wallin there.
He
runner out third, buried it.
He's had an extraordinary second half. 14 home runs, 40 RBIs.
Look at the average, jump 30 points too. 267 to 297.
And the only guy who's got more RBIs in the second half, the guy we just saw, Adrian Gonzalez. Chase Headley this season has moved himself up a bracket or so offensively in the game. I mean, he'd be a 10 home run guy, you know, pretty good hitter, 270.
Drive in 65, 70 runs.
Yeah, but I asked him, you know, about the change, and he said he's really worked hard on his swing path, getting the ball in the air more. And this is going to get him an RBI. Rutledge just did throw out Headley at first. 3-0, 83rd RBI for Headley. Who wants tacos? Remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more during any ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies tacos special. And so far on this homestand, you've had tacos every day. 10-0 over the Dodgers Monday, 8-4 over the Dodgers Tuesday, and a 10-8 loss on Wednesday. Quentin homered to center his first time. Here's the 1-0 to Carlos.
Got Got a pitch out over the plate, allowed to extend his arms. And when you give him that much of a swing path for him, he's going to drive the ball hard, typically out of the ballpark.
He wasn't sure it went out.
Josh Burns signed him and Houston Street, an offensive cornerstone and the back of their bullpen.
Houston's getting ready to come back.
Had a special season so far for this Padre ball club. And it's kind of one of those trades that worked out well for Houston. Nick Smith is up to AAA now, left-handed, former first-round pick of the Padres, is in AAA with the Rockies organization.
That's inside, and it's 3-1.
Well received by Willeen, though. Willeen has had a tendency in the past to push that ball out of the zone or to let the glove pancake out of the zone. He's going to extend his arm out on this fastball and lock it with that front hand.
He went slider 3-1 and he missed. So a 2-out walk to Quentin. And that'll bring up Yasmani Grandal. Second walk allowed by Alex White. Georgie's 56 pitches in already, and unless something changes dramatically, it's looking more and more like another 4-inning stint.
Yeah, it is. And again, it's the couple of walks that got to him, the big long at bat by Cabrera at the start of the game, an 11-pitch at bat. You just need to quiet this third inning down here and retire Grandal so you can get in the dugout.
Yasmani walked and scored last inning. It's 2-0. So Bo McLaughlin will come out and talk to Alex White. Padres a confident team, 15-7 their last 22. They've been winning at home, they've been winning on the road. I think they've kind of taken pride, George, in that they know they're not a big market team, a big money team, and they're never going to be littered with a bunch of big money superstars, and that's almost a rallying point for that roster.
Well, and what they have to do is whenever they do get a player that is performing really well and somebody from another team wants them, as the White Sox did, and they were able to get Clayton Richard, they were able to get some other players from them.
As in the Peavy deal.
In a Jake Peavy trade, that you go get those other guys out of those other organizations that's going to be difference makers for you here. And that's what you're seeing now.
Grandal flies out to left field. That ends the inning. Another run after the Venable triple, 3-0. Visit MLB.com/fan guide for a chance to win a VIP experience for two this year at a World Series game. It's presented by Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. Rockies trailing 3-0. As we go to the third inning, it'll be Alex White to lead things off against Clayton Richard. He was 4-1 his last 5 outings. He's been really good after a slow start.
Well, they struggled here at Coors Field. We mentioned 0-3 and earned run average of around 9.
Good range by Cabrera.
And you see why the Padres drafted him in the Rule 5 draft away from the Rockies. They always felt like he would hit. They knew he had speed. And they also knew he had tremendous range at shortstop.
He's made some sparkling plays lately for the Padres. 1 out. Josh Rutledge, who hit a ground ball to Cabrera his first time, will get his second look at Clayton Richard. And that's a strike. It's the first time that Rutledge has hit leadoff. Ground ball, and that's over the head on a bounce of Headley, and it's going to be a double for Josh Rutledge.
Watching batting practice today, to see the ball jump off his bat in the air, you can only imagine being at third base and having the ball get on you quick. It's not a bad pitch. I mean, it's down in the strike zone. Headley not able to hang on to this. I mean, it's a backhand watch your lips into the outfield. He was hitting balls in batting practice out into the Rockies bullpen in right center. Just tremendous amount of bat speed and strength.
Pacheco takes a strike. Jordan a ground ball to short as well his first time. And this kicks away. Rutledge will move up on the wild pitch. That makes the assignment a little bit easier for Pacheco.
You'll see this on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. This ball lands out in front of the home plate area. Grandal tried to get out and get it with the glove and keep it in front of him. But as that ball cut and slid almost 2.5 feet away, Pacheco waves him into third.
Two balls and a strike on Jordan with Cargo on deck. And this will get the run home. Logan Forsythe throws out Pacheco. Jordan with his 36th RBI. Cargo on Wednesday went 2 for 5. Pacheco gets high five in the dugout. He had a sharp single to right his first time up. Chin music, 1-1 from the 28-year-old Richard. Still lives in his hometown of Lafayette, Indiana.
Well, there's nothing like going back home and relaxing for the winter.
1-2.
Follow the Rockies on your phone with the MLB.com @Bat12 app featuring pitch tracking, highlights, and a whole lot more. Go to ColoradoRockies.com for more information.
Another 1-2. And Cargo hits a fly ball to Quentin in left field. Rockies get a run. A one-out double by Josh Rutledge, a wild pitch and a ground ball. 3-1 as we go to the fourth.
Three-1 lead on another Fan Friday. We answer social media questions. It's a Blue Moon Friday, so once in a Blue Moon baseball questions. Rock Nation CO writes, "Hey Stout, I heard you ask Josh Renicky in a recent Rockies pregame if he could swipe a bag. Question is, how many pitchers have stolen a base this season? Last Rockies pitcher to steal a base was." The answer for this year is 3. Jake Westbrook, Cliff Lee, Anthony Bass of the Padres stole one, actually off of Yu Darvish and Yorvik Torrealba. It was his last start. He's been on the 60-day DL. Now, when you're talking about a Rocky, and Drew, you had mentioned it, Mike Hampton did a lot of offensive things. A decade ago, July of 2002, Hampton stole one off of Schilling and Damian Miller in the Diamondbacks in a game. He stole it in the second inning. Then he tries to steal another bag in the fifth and gets thrown out. But that's the last time. It was Mike Hampton in 2002, guys.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit more about Mike Hampton and how good an athlete he was. Mark, I know you know this. Mike Hampton was recruited to play defensive back at Florida State. Signed a baseball contract. Mike Hampton had sub 4.5 speed in the 40 and would be utilized as a pinch runner periodically. So it wasn't a freakish thing that he stole a base. He'd also be used quite a bit as a pinch hitter.
Yeah, he hit the 7 home runs in one season, like you said. Good athlete. More questions to come. Haven't seen the Blue Moon yet, though.
Keep looking.
The Blue Moon was out last night, Mark. I can attest to that. It'll show up. Just give it time.
Two balls, two strikes on Yonder Alonso. Alex White with his 65th pitch here with nobody out in the fourth inning.
You saw earlier Renicky was up down in the bullpen using the bands a little bit, getting a drink of water.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if you're Jim Tracy, you just hope he can get you through this inning. Deep pitch counts on a lot of foul balls, George.
Well, that's part of it. I mean, think of that 11 pitch at bat by Cabrera in the first part of the inning. A lot of foul balls in this game. So you look at 66 pitches. You say to yourself, I mean, it's 66 pitches. There's no two ways around it. But how many of them have been nicked and headed back to the screen? Or into the seats. These people have really been busy in that section over here. Sam, how many have they caught over there tonight? 231? Sam confirmed it. Doug will not.
Only once since his return has Alex pitched beyond the 4th inning.
And that was in a ball game against the St. Louis Cardinals. 5 1/3, 5 hits, a couple of runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Both those runs came in the 6th inning. But after that, Dodgers 4 inning, Miami 4, New York 4, Chicago 4, and a walk here.
That's 3 walks allowed. And that'll bring up Logan Forsythe. That's a different shot of the rock pile. AT&T trivia question: who is the last Padre to steal 50 bases in a season? In the air to deep right center field, and right at the wall, Andrew Brown makes the catch. Alonso back to first, 1 out. That'll bring up Cameron Maben.
Well, that was hit deep, but I like what Brown did. He got back, got his feet up underneath of him, found the territory he was in, and was able to make the catch. I didn't see the blue moon go by either. About 2 feet out in front of the wall.
Maben robbed of a hit his first time up by Chris Nelson. Man on first, he had a hard smash toward the hole. Chris laid out, gloved it, got the force at second.
We're starting to show why Josh Burns gave him that 5-year contract after the All-Star break. He's done a nice job hitting nearly 270 at 269.
424 over his last 9 ball games. And this time, Chris Nelson won't be able to make a circus play. 2 on for Clayton Richard. Will be bunting here, you'd assume.
He came back to ask Bud Black, what do you want me to do? Well, you know, you do have 6 RBIs, but I'd like to see you bunt. The left-hander Matt Reynolds warming up, and the reason behind that is try to get through this inning. And then you would be able to allow your offense to go through in the bottom of the 4th without double switching. So Reynolds would be a guy to get you through this 1 inning. With all this being said, it's still just a 2-run ball game. It's 3-1.
And the reason right now with the paired pitching staff that you're prone to a few more double switches in games where you're trailing, but you're still in it, you have a shorter bench because you're keeping an extra pitcher. So you have to be judicious in how you use that bench.
Well, the other
you
side,
can't burn 2 players, for instance, early in a ball game.
Well, you got to be careful too with Dexter's situation because he had to be scratched, so your bench is even a little bit shorter than what you thought it was.
put the slug bun on. No contact, though. 2 outs. That's the second strikeout for Alex White. Everett Cabrera coming up. Time for the Home Depot doing more on defense. Home Depot more saving, more doing. First time up, Clayton Richard thought he had an RBI single. Cargo laid out and made a wonderful catch to save a run. Home Depot doing more on defense. Well, with Cabrera coming up, it's not going to be White to face him. It will be Matt Reynolds. So Alex White goes just 3 2/3. 3-1 San Diego. Is brought to you by the Ford Super Duty. Built stronger, built better, built Ford tough. Ford Super Duty. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Everett Cabrera has a much better average from the left side of the plate than the right side. So Jim Tracy, in a 2-run game with 2 outs and 2 on, wants Cabrera to hit from the right side. And he takes strike 1 from Matt Reynolds.
Nearly
the difference.
Nearly 90-point difference. So, and again, White's pitch count, it got where it's a danger zone around 80. So now they'll go with Matt Reynolds and hope he has the ability to get the out of Cabrera. But you also have Venable coming right behind him, another left-handed bat that they can switch out, obviously, but they may not do that either.
One and two. Yonder Alonso at second, Mabins at first base. 2 gone. Padres up 3-1. Center field, right at Colvin. So 2 left on for the Padres. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th, a 2-run ball game. Time for the big hit, presented by Mako, the company that repairs all kinds of hits. William Rosario hit a couple of home runs in the Dodgers series to take over the club lead from Carlos Gonzalez. He's got 22 home runs. Check out your local Mako for collision repairs and auto painting.
Get out. You got to talk to it every now and then.
Yes, you do. For as low as $349. Visit Mako.com today. Rosario 3 for 4 now against Clayton Richard.
A good season average, 254. This is a young kid that's at times chased breaking balls, but you saw those replays against the Dodgers against the left-hander. Got a high slider that he hit out to left field. Starting to recognize pitches better.
He has 71 at bats against left-handed pitching this year. He's got 10 home runs. That's quite a ratio. 1 every 7.1 ABs with a bomb. Home runs by rookie catchers, the most ever Mike Piazza with the Dodgers in '93. And there's William Rosario. Pretty fancy company. Tied Carlton Fisk and what he produced in '72 with the Red Sox. And that is redirected to Cabrera, and he's going to get an out. And that's a shame because that was headed up the middle. 1-6-3. Kick save. Grandal will go check on Richard.
Kick save's a good way to put it. I don't know if it was a kick save or let me get my foot out of the way of this bullet. It happened to hit the shoe and ricochet over to Cabrera, and he responded with a strong throw to first. Deflection. Boy, Cabrera's got a good arm. Quick release.
And
has the body more of a second baseman as far as stature, height, but he is a strong dude.
Yeah, he is put together well. 2-0 on Chris Nelson. 76 pitches tonight for Alex White, and he goes 3 2/3, gives up 3 runs, all of them earned, 4 hits, walked 3, struck out 2. Nelson, good numbers against Richard. He'll draw a walk. That's the first walk allowed by Clayton Richard. Andrew Brown will come up. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Busy night in the world of baseball.
They're all playing, turning that corner for the last 34 days, seeing who's going to end up getting in and who's not. A lot of interesting races throughout baseball.
Well, what's really going to make it that much more fascinating, the fact that there's an additional wild card in each league, because George, if you look at some of the division races right now, there's some separation.
Well, you know one thing, in American League East, the Baltimore Orioles, Tampa has closed the gap on the Yankees to 3 4.5, where the Yankees had a 8-game lead 10 days ago. So they've closed that gap up. Detroit just 3 back of Chicago. Texas and Oakland 4. You know, and the Angels, I don't think they're done yet at 8.5.
I said
Baltimore beat the Yankees tonight, so they're only 2 back.
Yeah, I said this earlier. I do not understand, and I'm not alone, how a roster, as Brown fouls this off, that includes in your everyday lineup Mike Trout, who may be the game's best player already as a 21-year-old, Albert Pujols, Torrey Hunter, Mark Trumbo, and then a rotation that features Jared Weaver, Dan Herron, Zach Greinke, C.J. Wilson. And we're leaving out some high-quality players in addition to those mentioned. How they are so far back in the American League West.
I think a lot of it has to do with the slow start they had at the very beginning, and then now trying to catch up on that. And that's, I think, been some of the hardest things for them to be able to do.
They bring a modest 3-game winning streak into play tonight. They're on the road in Seattle. Speaking of a team that's been a pleasant surprise, just 4 games south of 500. Good swing by Brown. Well, this kid will be interested in that ball game tomorrow night in Jerry Jones' Palace down in the Dallas area. The Maize and Blue against Alabama.
The Angels bullpen has a 4.07 earned run average, which ranks 22nd out of 30 in the big leagues, to answer part of the question of maybe where they are.
Texas leading Cleveland tonight in the 9th inning. Speaking of that division, 5-1. And on the dirt ball, Nelson's going to try to move up, and he gets cut down by Grandal.
Very nice recovery. I mean, Nelson moved as the ball hit the dirt. Grandal recovered very quickly to this baseball and made a snap throw on the money at second base. The ball went over to the right-handed batter's box, but this throw, I mean, you couldn't have walked it down there and made it any better. Slight stutter by Nelson, but I think the throw's what got it. I mean, they're just couldn't have made a better throw.
No, impossible to make a better throw. And Brown loops one to center for a base hit. That'll bring up Tyler Colvin. Colvin had a base hit to left, his initial at bat. By the way, news on the Rockies tonight. Colorado Springs in action and playing shortstop for 7 innings will be Troy Tulowitzki. And then he'll come here tomorrow. The Rockies want to take another look-see at Tulowitzki. Giambi's coming here, but he's going to stick around along with Guillermo Moscoso. Tomorrow is September 1st, so the rosters expand. In terms of other call-ups, which I know that's what you're thinking at home, who else will be brought up? Initially just those 2, but there certainly could be others in time. You have to remember that all the affiliates, full season affiliates, are still playing.
Yeah, their season ends on Monday. Tulsa starts the playoffs on Wednesday, so that whole entire group there will be left intact for a while.
We are through 4 innings. The Padres leading 3-1. Hi there. Fruit Sports has launched a new interactive second screen experience called Game Connect. You get live game stats, including play-by-play and all head-to-head stats, So you can dig deeper into the matchups and chat with other fans in Game Talk. If you like interacting, visit rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain. And you can do it now to connect. Will Venable against the left-hander Matt Reynolds. One and one on Venable. This ball in the air to Colvin. He'll make this catch. Last time up, Venable hit one over his head for a triple. Chase Headley's 0 for 2 with an RBI. He'll be next. Time now for this evening's Chevy's Dare to Compare. Chevy's full lineup of vehicles makes it the clear winner that the competition can't compare. Chevy made for Colorado. Headley, since the beginning of 2011, has hit .378 here at 20th and Blake. Cargo next on that list. Matt Kemp, Charlie Blackmon. 1-0. Headley, a ground ball to second and a ground ball to short. The ground ball to short scored a run in the third. I asked Chase which side he has more pop on now. He's a natural right-handed hitter. And he said, you know what, it's really close, but I guess if I was in a home run hitting contest, I'd hit right-handed.
A fair question to ask and a fair answer for him. I mean, you know, it's a little more natural side for him, I guess, on that right side where he feels like he can really unload on the baseball.
And that was what he said, George. He said, I'd feel more comfortable taking a bigger swing right-handed than, you know, all the years fine-tuning the left-handed swing. And that's pretty good right-handed swing there. Cargo trying to cut it off before the wall. He does so, but Headley's still going to have a double. Cargo takes such great pride in that, George, running toward the line and trying to hold runners to a single.
You have to here at Coors Field. If you're going to have to cut down some runs, you're going to have the ability as a left fielder here to get over and cut down runs. Early on in Rocky's history, it was more about power with Dante Bichette. But when you have this kind of an athlete that can cover this much ground with that kind of an arm, obviously you try to take advantage of it. That'll be it for Mr. Reynolds. And Mr. Renicke's making a trot in.
Who was the last Padre to steal 50 bases in a season? George Frazier guessed when we were going through our graphics
I thought about Dave
earlier,
Roberts.
and I thought that was a great guess. I thought you nailed it. But it's the Hall of Famer, Tony Gwynn. And Tony's in the house. 56 bags in 1987. Boy, he could hit.
Yeah, he could hit. Well, you're going to inherit a runner at second base right now, 16 of 22, right around that 66%. You'd like to see it right there, maybe a little bit higher, and he'll get the right-handed hitting Carlos Quentin. Josh Renicky.
This ball smothered to left center field. It's going to be a gapper. And takes one hop and goes over the wall. Ground rule double. Headley will score to make it 4-1. A two-ribby night for Carlos Quentin. Got a hanger, George, on the first offering from Renicky.
Yeah, he read it right out of the hand, too. There wasn't any kind of hesitation or any kind of a flip back of him. You didn't see the hands go back. You saw the hands go forward in a pretty good way, too. That stayed right up in the middle of the plate, about belt high. And right into that hitting zone at a good hitter speed at about 84, 85.
Yasmani Grandal at the plate. You know, it's the wild things. We watch his swing again, Frage. And that made a loud sound.
Yeah, the ball jumps off his back.
How about Quentin? No, this is shocking. Coming into tonight, he was 6 for 44 lifetime at Coors Field.
Now look at what he does with that lower half power. I mean, this is a true power hitter that they're going to keep locked up for a while and keep in their lineup as long as he can stay healthy.
Down low to Grandal. For those that have followed the Padres, Nick Hundley, the starter at the beginning of the year. Nick's been with them for a while. Just struggled mightily with the bat this year. Finally, we sent out. Grandal came up and did very well. Then Grandal went on the DL. And Nick Hundley came back, continued to struggle, and then he had a knee issue. He's had a scope on his knee, and he's been shut down for the year. For Nick, this happens to players from time to time, George. Sometimes you just have to push delete in your memory bank and just pretend 2012 didn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's hitting in the 100s, and he's obviously a much better player than that. But this is a kid now they like a lot. Grandal was part of that Latos deal, which that's a deal that's turned out decently for both teams.
Oh, absolutely. Edison Volquez coming here, a young right-hander that had kind of more or less needed to get out of Cincinnati, get a fresh start, and he's ran with it here. Man, I'm telling you, he's pitched very well for this Padre ball club.
Latos 11-4 with a 379 for the Cincinnati Reds.
Cincinnati 6-2 over Houston. Game being played in Houston. Pittsburgh down 5-1 to Milwaukee. St. Louis beaten 10-0 by Washington. St. Louis has hit a little tailspin.
Well, the Reds have the biggest lead in any division. Rutledge, good pickup. 2 outs. Quentin crosses.
Well, you heard us say on air before, right through the wickets. Well, this is what we're talking about. This ball hit very hard right through the wickets of Carlos Quentin and on over to first base to get the out.
Tell you what, had Rutledge just pivoted and fired to Nelson, he'd have had Quentin by 20 feet. Yonder Alonso 0 for 1 and a walk. 32 doubles for Alonso, most of any rookies this year. He also has 37 multi-hit games, which is the most of any National League rookie. We're starting to build a position player nucleus. Grandal behind the plate. Alonso, another former Red, at first base. You're going to keep Quentin around. He's in left field.
Well, Headley's a great player, obviously. Cabrera's kind of finding his own at short, along with Forsythe. Some of these draft picks the last 2 or 3 years are getting to the big leagues.
Deep left, Cargo will leap and make the catch right in front of the wall. In the inning, another run for the San Diego Padres. Back-to-back doubles, Headley and Quentin.
Five on a Fan Friday. Social media questions tonight, and we have one from one of my favorite Twitter handles, at JPLove22, wanting to know how many non-player managers have been ejected by umpires this season. So no managers, no players, other personnel. The list reads like this: there are 12 that have been ejected. And if you look at that list, in a course of about a week, 4 Tigers were ejected.
These are all coaches.
Yeah, these are coaches. 3 of them are from the National League. 2 are pitching coaches. And then there's Trey Hillman, who's the bench coach for the Dodgers. So that's the list to date thus far for non-players, managers, coaches ejected by umpires this year. It's a once-in-a-blue moon question for the Blue Moon Night.
Have you ever found the moon? I want to ask Mark, you seen the moon yet?
I have not seen the moon. We've been trying to find the moon all night here in the stands and at the ballpark. I think we will, Frage.
It's out there.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere in the park. Frage, you ever get ejected in a game?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, Randy Marsh, Dominican Republic, 1978. Playoffs.
Playoff game.
Uh-huh.
Balls and strikes?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. He had to go get the ball in the parking lot to keep playing. I threw it out of the stadium. Not real proud of that. We laugh about it now, though.
We do.
Yeah.
Things happen.
I was young.
That was the only ball they had?
I was young. That's the excuse, and I'm sticking with it.
2 strikes the count on Josh Renicky. It's good to see Lloyd McClendon fresh on that list, huh?
No, you knew he's going to be somewhere, right?
Did he take a base with him?
Well, yeah, I'm sticking something with him.
Cabrera's been busy. And a high throw. Ooh. Dana Deneau saying a tag was applied. Renicky's out. No argument for Glenn Allen Hill. Speaking of coaches, close proximity.
I just like the way Renicky busted it up the line. Running really hard. Yeah, if he got him there, then he is out. It's a good call. Yep, got him right there on the back as he went by, and foot was not down.
Doug has reminded us that, Mark, you listening? Doug's reminded us that the intern who played 3 blind mice.
What?
Cabrera is going to make this play on Rutledge. There was an intern who played 3 blind mice after a bad call by an umpire.
Oh yeah, in minor leagues.
Right, in the Daytona Cubs game in the Florida State League. He was ejected earlier this month. So what is it, 12 coaches and an organist?
Smokehouse, I understand, but I'm like Blue Moon. Blue Moon, Blue Moon.
That Blue Moon tastes good. Logan Forsythe in the 6th inning. Cameron Maben and Clayton Richard to face Josh Renicky. Rockies trailing 4-1. 6 hits for San Diego, 5 for Colorado. Padres, have not won a season series against the Rockies since 2005. This is game number 13 this year. San Diego is leading 7-5 so far. And one of the reasons they haven't won a season series, the Rockies have played exceptionally well at Petco. One and one on Forsythe.
Yeah, Bud Black's done a very nice job with this Padre ball club as new faces have come and gone. He's been able to get a lot of those new faces buying in what they're doing, and it's gotten a lot better. Gary, I agree with you in Broomfield. Why you got a batter's box if you're going to rub out all the lines? Well, umpires will draw it back in with the bat every now and then, but I know what you mean.
To third. Boy, that's a tough pickup. Nice play, Chris Nelson, and then the 95-mile-an-hour heater across the diamond. George, that was a tough play.
Very difficult play, and we've seen one tonight where Chase Headley couldn't handle the backhand, and then this time you see Nelson handle it pretty easy. Again, I saw him dive earlier, get the force at second. Now you're just trying to time that hop and then show off the hose, and he did just that. Boy, really nice pick, nice hands, nice concentration.
Rutledge not going to get Maben. He runs too well. Rutledge was over in the hole. And that made that play even more difficult. So it's an infield hit for Cameron Maben.
And it shows too, Rutledge's leg obviously 100%. Watch where he starts from and where this ball is hit. And he actually gets to that baseball and makes a very strong, accurate throw to first base. DJ LeMahieu had gotten all the way on the other side of second base to field the baseball. Great job by Rutledge to get to it.
So Maben with 25 stolen bases. He had one earlier in the ball games at first base. Clayton Richard at the plate.
Now he might steal a base here, and the only reason why, then you have top of the order in the next inning. Try to get into scoring position. Richard slug bunt last time. He's showing a bunt here.
We had a question earlier about Troy Tulowitzki. Troy continues to play in Colorado Springs. He's playing tonight 7 innings at shortstop. We'll be back here tomorrow, so the Rockies medical staff can look at him.
Tomorrow he'll be back here to be evaluated.
Exactly, to look. That's to look at him. There's no timetable, set date as to when he'll be back. They're going to make sure he is completely healthy. So don't look for him. You're not going to see him on this homestand. I mean, there's uncertainty when you've had surgery and now you're running around. It feels pretty good. There's still uncertainty for Troy in his movements. You know, if you feel something, it's scar tissue, so you're going to err on the side of caution, particularly with the Rockies where they are in the standings. And he wants to come back and play this year. The Rockies want him to come back. They want to see him get some work with Josh Rutledge playing second base.
He's 0 for 2 in the game down in Colorado Springs, playing against Las Vegas 51s, the AAA affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays. Giambi 1 for 2.
Now Giambi will be here tomorrow to be a participant or a potential participant. And it's 3-0 on Everett Cabrera. Cabrera draws a walk. That'll bring up Venable.
You know, one thing Venable's done, he's given visiting managers like Jim Tracy a headache with runners in scoring position. 379. A big number.
Venable, the booming triple in the third inning. Maben will scamper back. Nobody was covering.
It's funny. He said, I didn't hear Glenn Hoffman yell back. You're okay. You're okay. As the third base coach. And all of a sudden the pitcher jumps around. He's like, hey, what's going on here?
Ball and a strike. Final day of August. The Rockies have had a good August. The Padres 17-10 in August. Rockies are going to have their first above 500 month since June of last year. Padres back-to-back plus 500 months. One and two on the foul ball. Rockies 16-12 coming into the evening. You know, the whole division outside of Arizona's played above 500. Giants are 18-10. Dodgers 14-13. Arizona's 12-16. They were about a week and a half ago. They were very much in the race.
Right smack in the back. I mean, right in the middle of it. How long ago did they trade away Stephen Drew, Doug?
About a week ago, wasn't it? Maybe 10 days.
Just wondering what effect that might have had.
Swung on and missed. Renicky strikes out. Venable. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth inning. The Padres holding a 4-1 lead behind Clayton Richard. Look back. Second inning, Carlos Quentin got the Padres on the board with a home run to dead center field. Third inning, the Rockies would get on the board. It's a double by Josh Rutledge. And the Rockies would get the run there in the fifth inning. Well, back live, Jordan Pacheco has hit a home run on the first pitch of the inning.
He got a fastball down and in. And jammed this thing out into left center field, 390 feet away from the plate for his third home run of the year and 37 RBIs. He's got both RBIs for the Rockies in this game.
Well, Pacheco's had some warning track power lately. He had one taken away from him in the Dodgers series by Rivera. And he said, you know what, I'm going to hit him a little farther. It's a 4-2 ball game.
Now another look at the swing of Jordan Pacheco. Got a ball right down in the sweet spot for him. That down and in fastball. It cut right into his bat and cut out over the left field wall. Behind on Gonzalez, 2-1. Mentioned earlier that Richard has not won a ball game at Coors Field. 0-3 with a 9 ERA. Has pitched very effectively for 5+. Leads this one 4-2.
You know, earlier we ran a graphic that said that Cargo had 18 straight singles. That's actually what we meant to say is the Rockies earlier in the ball game had 18 consecutive singles as a team. Cargo, of course, hit a home run in Chicago a few days ago. 1 for 2 tonight. Here's the 2-2. And he's a strikeout victim. That's the first strikeout of the night for Richard.
And a lot of ground ball outs.
Trying to ground ball outs, yeah. Willeen Rosario a single. And what should have been another single. Blistered the ball up the middle, and it went off the foot of Richard right to Everett Cabrera, who threw him out. This ball high and deep left center field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. The baby bull is gone deep again. We've got ourselves a one-run game on home run number 23 for Willeen Rosario.
A couple of home runs in this inning. Willeen got a ball out over the plate on a fastball from Richard, and it stayed up, and he sent this thing traveling in a hurry. Yeah, a lot of smiles, a lot of fun things happening with this ball club right now, and Willeen's right in the center of it. One thing about Coors Field, it's going to relinquish some long balls when you make mistakes, and they made one to Pacheco and now Willeen.
0-1 on Chris Nelson. 1-1. That's 11 home runs now against left-handed pitching for Rosario and 81 at bats. And he's 2 away from Todd Helton for rookie home runs in a Rockies uniform.
Hey, your eyes get big when you get a pitch like this, left on right coming into home plate.
The thing you really like, George, with any player, particularly a young player, you want to see noticeable improvement. And we have seen that. Rosario's always had the power, but we've seen it in his selectiveness offensively. We've seen him improve behind the plate.
Well, that's the key. That's where he's got to improve, and that's behind the plate. Pitch calling, blocking balls, throwing guys out, and he has done that. I mean, this kid had 12 errors before the break, 2 cents. So, I mean, it's gotten a lot better for him behind the plate. He's throwing the ball much better.
He cares. He wants to be good. Andrew Brown, 2 outs, nobody on. The Rockies with a couple of solo home runs to close to within a run. And a 4-pitch walk to Brown. Tyler Colvin coming up. Second walk allowed by Clayton Richard. Darren Balsley out to visit. Today's CenturyLink high-speed pitch, fast speed, and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. Both Richard and Alan Twite, who's the starter, touched 94.
Yeah, they both got ticketed today. for speed. Both throwing some very good fastballs at 94. Alex unfortunately couldn't get through the fourth inning. The bullpen held it together again, and you're down to a one-run ball game.
Colvin a single in the second and a ground ball to short. Colvin leading the club in August in RBIs. He's got 17. It's an interesting time of year. George, college football starts. The NFL starts up next week officially. So you get all of the collegiate allegiances, the NFL allegiances, a lot of good-natured trash talking going on in the clubhouses around baseball.
Plus, sometimes, I mean, you know, you've got some great high school rivalries that kick off early. And I think that's something that's kind of neat to watch, too, is that football's getting a lot better across the nation. I know Jinx and Union playing tonight. That's typically a state championship game. Lane the left-hander, Vincent the right-hander.
Runner going in the dirt, and a stolen base for Andrew Brown.
His first stolen base this year.
First stolen base, I believe, of his career.
They got a ball on a breaking ball down in the dirt, trying to put it in. A little bit of a bobble down below, but it's a tough ball. I mean, it bounces out in front of him off the chest protector. So if he would have thrown him out on that, that would have been something really special. Well, Colvin did that in his first at bat on a ball down and away. He just slashed at it and was able to slash it for a base hit in the second inning, trying to do something here with 2 outs, doing much of the same. There is the left-hander, Mr. Lane, and Mr. Vincent, the right-hander. Joe Thatcher, through an inning of rehab, struck out 2 in Lake Elsinore last night. There's a good chance that he will be activated tomorrow.
Strike 3. Richard made a pitch and strikes out Colvin with the tying run at second base. Terrific inning for the Rockies. Solo home runs from Jordan Pacheco, his third, and Willeen Rosario, his 23rd. And it's a 4-3 ball game as we go to inning number 7.
now trailing 4-3 against the Padres. We'll call it the rally moon. We have found the blue moon here in right field. Fan Friday, social media questions at Trent Barons, a once in a blue moon question. Has there been a 9-3 put out this year where the right fielder throws somebody out at first base? Trent, not this year. The last time it happened last September, Jeff Francoeur had a line drive come to him off the bat of Mike Taylor of the A's. Francoeur, the right fielder for Kansas City, throws him out at first base. You think you got a hit, but you don't. I feel like Jimmy Stewart found you guys the moon.
Wait, Mark, where are you?
Top of right field. We told you we find you the blue moon.
What section are you in?
What's that? 311. Section 311.
Yeah, I see you now. You're way up there. Hi, buddy.
Very top of the stadium. There it is.
You got Crash with you?
Crash is here. Pete's here. Doing some work today.
Yeah, you are doing some work
wrapping up
today.
August with a flurry.
Plus, you're getting a little exercise in.
Doesn't hurt, right?
All right, run 10 sets of stairs for us. Get back to us in a couple minutes, Mark.
That is a long ways, folks. There's the purple line. You can see how high it is.
Above a mile high. Quentin's done a lot of damage tonight, and Nelson, a good pickup. He's going to fire to first. 2 outs. Yasmani Grandal will hit with 2 gone. 0 for 2 and a walk.
Here they come. There's Mark. There's Crash. There's Pete.
We got to pick it up.
Quit waving, Mark, and work.
Six home runs for Grandal. He's got some power. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, these two teams can compare some notes and nod at each other. Say, yeah, I feel your pain. In fact, Bud Black, Jim Tracy spent a lot of time chatting out on the field today after the Rockies had finished batting practice. The Padres were out there. 24 players on the disabled list at one time or another for the Padres, 23 for the Rockies. You know how many starting pitchers the Rockies have used this year? The Padres have used 15 different starting pitchers. So those two could commiserate. Rockies have used 13 starters.
Most assignments to the disabled list. That's what Drew's just talking about here. It's been crazy. Washington with 22, and yet they're in first place.
Boston's not. They've seen the list 34 times.
Oh, they're getting rid of a lot of players in Boston.
Grandal draws a walk. This will be the last inning for Renick. He's due a second next frame. Yonder Alonso to the plate. 0 for 2 and a walk for Alonso. Hit a fly ball to deep left. His last at bat. And that was an interesting decision.
For Pacheco,
he had to forget how many outs there were.
Checkers, you got to do better now. Glad Rutledge came.
Yeah, and Josh Renick laughing. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Hyundai Summer Drive Sales Event now through September 3rd. And by Burger King. Come play family food where every game piece has a prize. DJ LeMahieu hits it in the air to Will Venable on the first pitch, 1 out. And batting for Josh Renicky will be Dexter Fowler. Again, if you're just joining us, Dexter was in the original starting lineup batting leadoff. But the ankle still tender enough that the Rockies decided to utilize him off the bench and not have him run around in center field. Dexter will pinch hit with 1 out in the 7th inning in a 1-run ball game. From the right side against Richard. Yeah, to give you a contrast, 1 out in the 7th inning. Richard is in the mid-80s in terms of number of pitches. And in 3 2/3, Alex White was approaching 80 pitches.
Well, it's kind of the same story if you don't pound that strike zone, and this is exactly what he does. Dexter will get a pinch hit single here in the bottom of the 7th.
How about Dex? 21 for his last 47 at the plate. Now that's Dexter's ankle all wrapped up. Because his ankle's all wrapped up, Dexter's not going to run for himself here. Tyler Chatwood will run for him.
And Bud Black will go to his bullpen.
The Rockies with some athletic guys on their pitching staff. Chatwood, Torres. We've seen Alex White pinch run a handful of times. 4-3. Rockies have the tying run on with 1 out in the 7th. Freeze cam. What do we have tonight? It'll be Chris Nelson with that good pickup on the top spin 2-hopper. And he throws out Logan Forsythe. That's brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. One out. Dexter Fowler single. Tyler Chatwood running for him, and big right-hander Brad Brock.
Yeah, the
be
rookie,
the first out of the pen.
Look at this number. That is something that just jumps out at you. 33 of 35 inherited runners have been stranded on the base paths. He's making his 53rd game appearance, which leads all National League rookies. And man, you look at this. Leading after 7, 50-1. I'd like to make it 50-2 right here.
Josh Rutledge, 7 for 17 this year against the Padres, 1 for 3 tonight. Doubled and scored the Rockies' first run in the 3rd. in on a Pacheco RBI ground out. Pacheco's driven in 2 tonight. He has a home run. Willie Rosario has a home run. 4-3 San Diego, bottom of 7. And it's 3-0.
Quickly.
Full count on Josh Rutledge. Chatwood takes off, and it's fouled off. Rutledge will be playing a little hardball tomorrow night when Alabama takes on Michigan. Told me got it covered, got it DVR'd. We'll be watching it late tomorrow night. Here goes Chatwood again and again. This pitch is wasted. Earlier we were talking about how the Rockies did a great job during that 20 games, 20 days situation, 13-7. They'll have another 20 straight to play in September that'll take them to the end of the season. Down the line foul. Nice play.
Well, the only thing that makes that a little bit easier is you hopefully have some September call-ups that can eat up some of the innings and also eat up some of the game time, playing time. But most of the Rockies youngsters are here right now.
Again, Chatwood going, and this ball's playable. Chatwood will have to put on the brakes. 2 outs as Venable makes the catch, and Pacheco will come up.
The Rockies Community Children's Book Drive is this Sunday. Your new or generally used children's books will benefit Denver Health Reach Out and Read program. Cash donations are also appreciated. Collection will take place at every gate here at the ballpark.
Jordan offered 0-1. Jordan Pacheco flirting with some home runs lately. George, this one he hit far enough that nobody could leap over the wall and take it back.
Yeah, left center field, got it out of here about 15 rows up.
Left-hander Lane's throwing for the Padres if Cargo were to come up. He's on deck, and it's a 2-1 count on Jordan Pacheco. And Rex Brothers, Matt Belisle. Cameron Maben in right center field gloves it, and the Rockies are done in the 7th inning. We move on to inning number 8, 4-3 Padres. Top of inning number 8 with George Frazier and Mark Stout. I'm Drew Goodman. Logan Forsythe will be on to face Rex Brothers. 61st appearance for Rex.
Well, the bullpen's done a nice job tonight, starting with Reynolds, Renicky, now Brothers. You hope you continue it on. He's 8-2. He has benefited for a lot of these Rockies wins coming from behind, but he has held the opposition where you need them to be. 52 2/3 innings, looking for a 1-2-3 inning here.
And the 8 wins leads the Rockies. The highest win total for a current starter is 5. Friedrich and Francis. Of course, Friedrich's out for the year. Pacheco's going to have a play. One out, Cameron Maben will come to the plate.
Throwing the ball hard, but not over the plate. 95 with the last fastball, missed on the outer half, behind 3-0. Guzman, waiting in the on-deck circle, was a pinch hitter.
3-0, strike one. George, tomorrow we embark on September when rosters expand, and you have teams that aren't in it, like, is Mayu going to make? Nah, not going to make the play. That's second time the shift has worked against the Rockies with Maben at the plate. They're pulled over to play in the pull. He has a dribbler up the middle for a hit, and now a dribbler to the hole between first and second.
Let's watch this ball come out of here and see if it ends up being a hustle double or an error. Because on the dives when the ball came out, as he started to get it, so it is a double for Cameron Maben.
Jesus Guzman will be the pinch hitter. They're going to put Guzman on. So what I was asking you, George, is, for 5 months, Major League Baseball plays, everybody has a 25-man roster. Now, in September, you expand those rosters
up to 40.
Up to 40, and you're playing the game under a different set of rules in the most critical month of the season for the teams in contention. Do you like it or not?
You are, and I think, too, though, that most managers will respect the game. So, in other words, they're not going to bring up some young starting pitcher and have him start against, say, the Los Angeles Dodgers or Giants on the last weekend, or they're going to start a player at certain positions. And I think, Drew, you're right. Some teams that have more money will load that roster completely to 40, and they'll save their good bullpen when they don't have to use them in a blowout game, win or losing. They'll give guys days off when the game's meaningless or it gets out of hand in some fashion, and they will use it to their advantage.
Force all around, 1 out. Everett Cabrera at the plate, 0 for 3 and a walk.
On the weaker side, as far as he's concerned, 176 average from the right side against left-handers. 267 against right-handers. Ahead 0-2. Venable has gone back also. DeNorfia, another right-handed bat, has stepped out to hit. And look for the O'Malley family to change a number of things in San Diego, and it'll be for the better. A long-time baseball family that has bought the Padres.
And there have been reports that Phil Mickelson will have a small part in that new ownership group. 0-2, strike 3, and Cabrera's got 2 outs.
Well, you throw this hard and you're this aggressive, it doesn't take long to work through it. And that was a great one at 96 miles an hour, down on the knees to Cabrera. And Rex Brothers comes up with a strikeout and the second out of the inning.
Will Venable will give way to Chris DeNorfia. Venable was 1 for 4, triple, scored back in the 3rd. Cole McLaughlin's going to come out. I would assume, George, when this happens, is this to review a game plan as to how to pitch DeNorfia?
Well, you got a young catcher behind the plate. You got to make sure everybody's on the same page. You know, Rex Brothers is going to go with his strength, which tonight appears to be the fastball, and not slow the ball down. So, I mean, you know, go right at people, and then defensively set up for it. DeNorfia on the season, 291 average, 5 home runs, 27 RBIs. He is 7 for 24 as a pinch hitter with 4 RBIs.
DeNorfia's had a big year against the Rockies, hitting .457. Maybe the only game I think I can remember where DeNorfia wasn't in the starting lineup against Colorado.
Well, I think they wanted to go with the left-handed bat because of Venable's success. You have Quentin, who's done a nice job. Maben swung the bat at a 270 clip in the second half, so they went for the matchup. Left-handed bat versus right-handed pitcher and Alex White. Waiting for this opportunity, left on right, to give it a shot.
Maben takes off for third, ground ball toward the middle. Rutledge dives, not going to have a play because Maben was moving. The Padres get an insurance run. He scores on an infield hit from second base, and Chris DeNorfia's numbers continue to rise against the Rockies.
Yeah, tremendous base hit. I kind of had a feeling there that Maben might take off and try to steal third. The only reason I say that is to try to push the issue a little bit. If it gets through for Zario, make him make the perfect throw. But when he dove for the baseball, it rolled up on his stomach. Cameron Maben's going to watch Hoffman in a hurry, and Hoffman, and between Hoffman and Maben, he goes to the house relatively easy.
Chase Headley.
Good slider at 87. And a good block by Willeen Rosario. He rode that ball right with his body. Now look at the dive up the middle. You see it on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. It hit the glove. Then it's going to come up underneath the stomach and the rib cage. Rutledge is going to try to find the baseball as quick as he can, get to his feet, but by then, no chance for a play.
Outside 1-1 on Headley. Double in the 5th inning. Think about this inning. Maben had the bleeder go through the right side. LeMahieu dives, and the ball went underneath his body. Maben with the great speed ends up at second. And then you just saw how he scored. So the speed of Cameron Maben really on display this inning. And it's provided the Padres with a 2-run cushion. 1-2 on Headley. RBI tonight for Headley is 31st in the month of August, most of any player. And this is in the air to right. Brown is there. Middle of 8, 5-3 Padres.
Moments that it's on a super camera. That is not the super camera. That is the super camera operator, Brian Peters. But this is the camera. Nice job, Dana White. We'll go now to the super moment of today as we take a shot of this. And this one's pretty good, folks. Ooh. Hey, let me read. Did you like it? Look at everything splattering around. Look at all the slow motion action. Now, let me bring it back to you. I like this so much, I want to see it again now. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. Is that not awesome? We love that camera here at the ballpark. Hope you do too. Brian Peters enjoys running it out in center field for all of you.
Were you referencing Dana White, the
well, when he was doing
MMA?
When he was doing the
UFC, I mean?
Yeah, on the show.
Or you meant Vanna White?
Dana, what did I say, Dana? Dana White.
Dana White.
Yeah. I just watched Wheel of Fortune with my mother the other day. Favorite show. It's her favorite show.
It's
everything stops.
It's one of the longest running shows.
Everything stops when that comes on in Jeopardy at her house. It shuts down.
Tommy Lane is aboard facing Carlos Gonzalez. And Carr goes behind 0-2.
Lane with a very good breaking ball, fastball mix. The San Diego's pen in the last 10 ball games, 25 innings, 19 hits, just 5 walks, 27 strikeouts, and the opposition's only hit them to the tune of 204.
And Gonzalez had the hand fly off the bat, and he's gone.
Yeah,
Bud Black's going to jog out, make a pitching change. He brought in Lane to do what he did, get Carlos Gonzalez. Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. Baby Bull, Willeen Rosario with his 23rd earlier tonight. New pitcher will be Dale Thayer. Rosario will be first up after we return. Rockies with one out in the 8th inning. Nobody on. Willeen Rosario to face Dale Thayer.
Hard throwing right-hander. This guy's been kind of one of those special finds that they've been able to get. Coming out of their bullpen. First fastball offering with some late tail and sink at 95.
This Padre bullpen typically has been very good. Through the years, they've been very good. Thayer got his first save of the year, second career save against the Rockies back on May 7th. Came up with the Tampa Bay Rays.
And it gets there in a hurry, no question about it. Ahead here in this count, 1 ball and 2 strikes, all fastballs. Ball at 95.
And Thayer strikes out Rosario. 2 outs. Chris Nelson will come to the plate. Well, who wants tacos, fans? If you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 in a game, for the Rockies taco special, text the keyword taco to 720-720. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Nelson tonight 0 for 2 and a walk. Padres displaying the confidence of a team that has been playing very well.
A lot of it's due to those 2 guys right there. Darren Bosley's got this pitching staff going in the right direction, along with Bud Black. Some rare back, and here it is. Hit it, boys. I mean, that's exactly what Thayer brings to the table. Ooh, cross up and nasty. That wasn't any fun.
Who's he look like, George?
Yosemite Sam.
Thank you.
Here it comes right now on the outside corner, thinking slider. Ooh, lucky he didn't get hurt. That'll get you a stare down from McEachern.
Well, between Tommy Lane and Dale Thayer, they strike out the side. Gonzalez, Rosario, and Nelson. Jenny Kavnar is hosting this evening in center field. Hey, Jenny.
Hey, Drew. Tonight on the Toyota Postgame Show, Jeff Houston will join me. We're going to talk about willpower. That's Willeen Rosario's power. 3 home runs this week. Tonight, he had number 23. And how about out of San Quentin for Carlos Quentin? Coors Field has almost been like a jail for him. 6 for 44 coming into tonight. Tonight, he's 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a home run. Plus, we'll take you inside the clubhouse. For now, I'm going to send you back up to Drew and George.
All right, well, thank you very much, Jenny. I see that you have your green and gold on. All prepared for tomorrow's Rocky Mountain Showdown.
I do. Today is Wear Your School Colors with Pride Day. So I wore mine with pride, and as you'll notice, Jeff Houston was in a hue of brown today. I'm not going to say that's my favorite color.
Well, Ringlesby's been in Austin for a couple of days, getting mentally prepared for the Cowboys and the Longhorns tomorrow. Will Harris is on. Here in the 9th inning, Carlos Quentin will lead it off.
Yeah, a reflection of what happened the other day against the Dodgers. Other than that, it's been pretty smooth for him. He's had 2 games that got burgered up, a 3-run home run and then a grand slam. Other than that, out of those 9 games, he's been special, and he starts out with a good hammer here at 76. 9 strikeouts in 9 innings. They're 8 2/3 for Will Harris, just 3 walks. Curveball away to start him out. Go fastball away. You've got him set up and thinking about that curveball. You just got to get the fastball down in the zone.
Two and 1 the count. Harris working to Quentin. Three and 2. Pitches near Quentin's body, not unusual.
They usually find him.
He gets hit more than anybody in baseball.
Fairly close. A guy that dives over that outer half at times.
towering fly ball to center field. Colvin waiting. Tyler's got it. 1 out. Let's check the Excel Energy high efficiency inning. Well, Josh Renicky on the hill. And the 7th inning, you got Headley, you got Quentin. After a walk, you would get Alonso. Learn about energy efficiency and how to save money in your home by visiting responsiblebynature.com. The Rockies have had only one 1-2-3 inning in the game. That was the 1st inning. Otherwise, the Padres have had a base runner in every frame. In fact, the Padres have left 10 on. 5 runs, 9 hits for San Diego, 3-8-0 for Colorado. And this ball is in the air to right. Rondal's going to fly out. And that'll bring up Yonder Alonso.
Not a bad pitch in on the hands. He's throwing 8 now, 5 for strikes. Talking about Will Harris.
Andrew Brown, Tyler Colvin, DJ LeMahieu, the 3 scheduled in the 9th inning for the Rockies. And a ground ball to LeMahieu. Harris works a 1-2-3 9th. We go to the bottom half of the 9th. The Rockies need a rally. They trail by 2. Bottom half of inning number 9. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Rockies. New left fielder for the Padres is Alexi Amarista. He's in there for Carlos Quentin. And a former outstanding setup man, now doing the closing in the absence of Houston Street, Luke Gregerson. And he has really been outstanding of late. How about 23 straight shutout innings? Is that outstanding?
That is outstanding. And it, again, worked scoreless baseball in 53 of 62 outings. That even jumps out at me a little bit more. 61 strikeouts in 59 innings. He leads the ball club with 22 holes as he's starting to get a few saves now. Brown, Colvin, and LeMahieu here in the 9th inning for Gregerson.
So here we go. Rockies down 2. Andrew Brown against Gregerson. And the first pitch misses. Gregerson holds the major league record, 4 holds 40 of them in 2010. Strikes out slightly better than a hitter per inning.
Normally a strike thrower and utilizes his slider with a low 3/4 arm angle. That's what he did there to get the count even at 1-1. That 5th run, a big one. Another hard slider at 84.
This ball crushed to deep left. Got a chance. See you later. Home run. Andrew Brown's 2nd career home run. And he makes it 5-4. Say goodbye to the shutout streak for Luke Gregerson. And now I know what everybody's thinking. How big was that run that Cameron Maben produced?
And the ball never left the infield off Rex Brothers. Hanging slider, he got a swing and a miss. Not on this one. A belt-tied slider, too bitty. Boy, that did not ever develop in the back of that slider. Well, more like a cement mixing frisbee that left out of this yard in a heartbeat.
Nobody out. Colvin takes strike 1. A lot of movement, but that pitch is away. 1-1.
Rafael Betancourt starting to throw in the Rockies bullpen if they can get this tied up. San Diego this year 55-0 when leading after 8. It's going to be tested here. You just have one of those feelings.
Gregerson hadn't allowed a run since July the 3rd. Here's Brown. By the way, George, you want to talk about a conflicted household? You'll appreciate this. Brown went to the University of Nebraska, his high school sweetheart. Now his wife went to the University of Oklahoma.
Perfect. But there was something I liked about it.
Two. One out, LeMahieu will come up. Charlie Blackmon in the on-deck circle. Deep in the hole, Cabrera, long throws. No, safe at first. Thought the tag got him by Alonso. He's going to argue with Dana DeMuth, but Black's going to come out and argue. It's all academic. Safe at first is LeMahieu. I thought he got tagged.
Yeah, I did too. I think Dana missed this one, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a big fan of Dana DeMuth, but is he in the right position to see the tag? That's going to be the side of it here. Yeah, he missed this one. He is out. I mean, the foot hadn't hit the bag yet when the tag would have been applied. You can see where he is here. He ought to be able to see that pretty clearly. I think he did. We're trying to get the timing the way it is. And you know, Dana, I love you to death, but I think you missed that. I'm glad you missed it, though. There, Cabrera, he's got 9 now.
Blackman with one out and one on will pinch hit. Charlie 3 for 9 on the homestand. Strike one. Pop fly down the left field line, and getting there is Amarista. And you wonder at times why managers make defensive changes late in the game. Not to disrespect Carlos Quentin, I don't know if he would have gotten there.
I don't think he would have, Drew. I don't think he would have had a shot at the baseball. And Amarista has very good speed, plays a little center field. Got a break on this ball, and it had the height to allow him to get there into foul territory, make a catch on this baseball. Cabrera's running, he's not going to get there. Amarista almost overran the baseball.
2 outs, Josh Rutledge at the plate. Last hope for the Rockies. And you know this kid's already had the flair for the dramatic. Outside ball one. Rutledge doubled and scored back in the 3rd inning. 1 for 4 tonight. In the air to center field. Playable for Maben. He's got it. The Padres survive 5-4. Rockies get a run in the 9th on the home run by Andrew Brown, but can't push across the equalizer. Rutledge gave it a ride. 5-4 final. The Padres roll on. They've won 10 of 11. They improved to 62-71. The Rockies fall to 53-77. Clayton Richard continues his outstanding pitching. He goes to 12-12 after working 6 1/3 tonight. Alex White takes the loss. He's 2-7. Gregerson gets his 3rd save. Tonight's delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. Carlos Quentin today, a home run to center field. And he also had an RBI ground rule double in the 5th inning. On base 3 times tonight. Their big bat in the middle of the order, and he certainly was that this evening. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. So in game 1 of this 3-game set, the Padres win it 5-4. Stick around. The Toyota postgame show is up next.